Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the MDL LAN. We've got OG up against EG now in what I believe is Group B's winner bracket game. So, EG beat VG, I think, and OG beat LGD? I don't know. It happened at 2 in the morning. I was sleeping. But anyway, who cares? We're here now. These guys are playing against each other. I'm ODPixel. I'm joined by Draskyl. Andy, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm ready to go. The EGOG, the new captain versus the old captain, all that other nonsense. It's going to be good.
Absolutely. This is, the real kind of grudge match. There was some serious banter before game in the lobby chat, I believe. What was it?
Owen. It was mostly Artor.
Mostly Arteezy. I believe Arteezy, with various spelling mistakes, told S4, I will drop you if I see you in real life. And S4 retaliated, saying, I will drop you in 3 seconds. Then the game began, so we'll see if indeed S4 is able to drop Arteezy, or if the two of them will be meeting later at the bar. And the draft underway so far. The two bans, SK taken out by OG, Drow Ranger taken out by EG. I mean, EG-OG, do you think we're going to see quite a different draft from what we were seeing from the sides like Newbie and MVP? Are we going to see SD Lunas? Are we going to see them all? Is it going to be similar stuff, or could we see something different here?
I mean, out of EG, I would expect something different, because I did catch part of the EG-Vici series, and they were picking drastically different heroes to what we just saw in the previous series. So I would assume, at least from their perspective, they're going to do it a little bit different. But OG, I'm not really sure. The thing that I always think about when I see S4 in a team with another captain is that he has very strong opinions about how he likes the game to be played. And Fly is obviously the captain of the team. So I'm wondering if S4 is going to have any influence on how Fly decides to draft, or vice versa, because you would look at Crit and say, okay, well, this guy probably has some inside knowledge into how Fly thinks, but S4 also influences the team that he's on by kind of giving his own idea of what they should do in the game. So we'll see how both of the drafts kind of evolve here. But EG, picking the Beastmaster up for Universe, obviously one of the best Beastmaster players in the world, more or less, and giving himself or Zai the IO. Really strong opening here.
Absolutely, yeah. So I think it's something that I did earlier. Definitely the Beastmaster. We've definitely seen that already this LAN. But yeah, as you said,
yeah, he was played in the Vici EG series.
Yeah, it was game 3, wasn't it? I think.
It was either game 2 or 3.
Game 2 or 3. One of them.
Owen, I woke up at like 12:30. Okay, it ain't great. I don't remember much of what happened when I first got out of bed. But the EG has been favoring the Vision game, it seems like, a lot, and obviously Beastmaster and IO have a lot of synergy together because Hawk Vision can set up a relocate ganks. You know, you roar even into a relocate gank. There's a lot of potential for pick and push and just pressuring the map. And I think that so far, seeing what I have out of EG, they really tend to favor that style of play, where they're not going for the let's farm until we get to late game. It's we just want to pressure you all the time, just by having the vision advantage. So given that, Oracle, counter to Beastmaster, very strong hero in general. It's a combination that I think Vici themselves played against EG in the last time I saw them play.
I think it was EG that played it in last series, because it was Samael, OD, and Crit Oracle. So maybe VG, I think VG might have as well done it, but definitely EG played those two heroes last series.
Yeah. But this does look very similar to the Vici EG series in regards to heroes.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's very similar in terms of each team could very much have come with vice versa's draft. I mean, maybe more tailored with the fact that obviously OG ban out the Razor, something that EG's been running, kind of against the OD as well. EG now with the Axe ban, and we'll see what OG want to do in return. A lot of obviously these strong heroes that we were seeing in the Newbie MVP games being taken out. Elder Titan pretty much being a surefire ban every game. The Axe, Kunkka Drow, SK, Batrider, pretty much all heroes at the top of the meta at the moment.
Yeah, this is looking a little bit more like what I was expecting. The MVP series that we just watched was a little bit different. Obviously, very exciting two set of games. If you guys haven't watched them, I recommend you checking out the VODs. But yeah, for now, I mean, not really too much given away by either team. It really feels like, playing Beastmaster into OD and Oracle is going to be kind of annoying because A, you have Astral Imprisonment. So if you don't roar the OD, he imprisons somebody. And if you roar somebody else, both OD and Oracle can both remove the Dispel or at least prevent the hero from taking any additional damage. So it's going to be a bit difficult, I think. It's a very nice reaction to what EG have opened with, but again, I think it's more just about the vision game for them than it is necessarily relying just on the Primal Roar to be able to make things happen in the game.
Absolutely. Yeah. As we've seen And I mean, in terms of going with the vision idea, is there anything that you can expect EG to pick up that, you know, benefits from having that flying hawk vision to look for fights or to avoid fights? I mean, I guess one of them may have been obviously the Tinker, and that is going to be taken away.
And Bat as well. Yeah.
And Bat as well, yeah, which they've already banned, yeah. So
they're both really nice heroes. But the nice thing about Beastmaster is you don't necessarily need a hero that synergizes with him. He's kind of a... He's just his own package,
yeah,
right?
He does everything.
Division on his own. Yeah. He can freaking solo kill a core if he has a Necrobook 2 and a Blink Dagger at, like, 25 minutes into the game. The hero just brings a lot of map pressure just by having him, and you never have to build a team around him. I think that's why EG favor it so much. So opening with that eye on Beastmaster leaves it pretty ambiguous in regards to what they want to do. They have run the Omni Knight before.
Yes, we saw Crit Omni earlier today. They did run it. I think it was in the series against Vici. I think he may have played that in Game 2, and they played the Crit Oracle in Game 3. Both games, of course, which they did win, I believe. I believe they lost the first game to Vici Gaming. So
they kind of threw the first game, though, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was really messy. Yeah, you're right. It was the game where they kind of just lost a hero, and then suddenly VG were moving around the map, picking off the person in mid and then up top. And it was a little bit all over the place, which I guess could obviously be expected performance-wise from a team, like EG. I mean, even OG themselves, new teams, getting used to playing with each other in this specific 5-man on LAN. So there are going to be mistakes being made, which we've kind of already seen in the newbie versus MVP series. There were mistakes.
Dude,
there.
MVP, we should be watching the third game of that series right now. I'm telling you, that was a pretty big throw. But EG, the way that they run the Omni, I think they also had Beastmaster when they played it last time. So the hero in general, and the reason why he has such a high win rate in pubs, is because you basically just attach yourself to a core, and you protect that core. And that core pretty much guarantees that he's going to be farmed up. And looks like we're going to have a chance to see the old Jerax Earth Spirit here.
There was kind of a phase where, I mean, obviously Liquid, when Jerax won it, there was a phase where they just weren't picking him an Earth Spirit anymore. So it's nice to see that OG, they now in this lineup, they find a place and they feel that it's a great game for him. And I guess already what you're looking at the fact there's an IO and an Omni Knight, 2 backliners that good Earth Spirit play, which Jerax is going to come out with, can cause loads of issues for.
Yeah, it's going to be all about how he plays the fights, though, because if you mess up your combo or you don't land the grip on the Omni or something like that, it can be disastrous, because he can dispel one with the repel to get rid of Magnetize, he can heal the other, and then the team fight at that point is already kind of difficult. So, like you mentioned, it's very execution-based. If he's able to make anything happen off of it, maybe he's going to be playing more of the Roamer in the early game, try to pick off the Wisp a few times if you get lucky. But I don't think it's necessarily the easiest Earth Spirit game, but as you mentioned, Jerax is an extremely talented player on the hero. But I really like the Omni with the Beastmaster combo from EG, because it allows you to take the fights that you know that you can win. Because Omni Knight is like what I call an enabling hero. He enables you to do stuff that you otherwise wouldn't be able to get away with, and Phantom Assassin is a great pairing with it, because it's another hero that has great mobility that can also abuse the vision. You go in, you Stifling Dagger, you Phantom Strike, you heal bomb the guy, and then you just repel him, and he just cannot be stopped. And it's a very, very good hit, a very good pick.
If you're playing PA, you couldn't really ask for 2 better supports to be backing you up than an IO and an Omni. I mean, they can just do so much for the hero.
The only other thing you would possibly want is a DS for the PA. That's like the last hero, and you would call that like the perfect trifecta of heroes to make sure that PA can go in and get kills.
I mean, I'm looking. I think Zai. What have we seen? So I guess what? Yeah, but no, sorry, Zai. Zai's heroes. We're still looking for what's Samael's hero. And a lot of his heroes have been taken out. We've seen him play the OD, the Tinker. I believe it was him playing the Razor today. So it will be interesting to see what Samael does go for. I mean, is there anything that kind of comes to mind? You've seen OG now picking up this Naga Siren. It's going to be a core Naga Siren, you know that for sure.
I wonder if they just go Storm.
Samael Storm Spirit.
Because then you would have 2 great targets to repel. And I think that the way that they like to play the game, and just having that amount of map pressure and pick-off potential with the Storm, a PA, and the Omni Knight being able to repel those targets, it's insane how much pressure you would put on the map. The only thing with that is that your lanes might not necessarily be amazing, but you could just do, like, Omni Knight PA top, IO Storm mid, and then, those lanes are good enough. They're not amazing, but they're decent. I also wouldn't mind stuff like Queen of Pain, maybe Invoker. Those are like the go-tos, I guess, for Samael.
I would love to see.
The Samael Storm?
I'd love to see Samael Magnus.
That too, yeah. Magnus is really solid. I like that. Get that cleave going, just blink in, crit for like 10 billion damage, and just kill their whole team.
That would be the dream.
It would be really cool.
Or actually, hang on. Well, another hero that is still here that we know Sumail plays. I mean, Timbersaw's there.
Timber is there.
Does Timber not really do enough?
I think Timber is good against the illusion clear. So
Yeah.
if you're trying to pick a hero that's specifically good against Naga, then I think the Timber would be a really solid choice because you can just chakra him and kill the illusions. But yeah,
And
they're
OG.
gonna ban Storm.
Yeah, they're on the same wavelength for sure, Andy. Yeah.
Storm is just so obnoxious with Repel, man. I'm sure you've played against it in pubs. You're just like, this is the most frustrating thing in the world because if you don't have a Diffusal Blade and a stun or a silence on top of that, you just can't kill the hero. It's freaking impossible. So yeah, a very, very good ban here from OG, and I guess they're looking for their off lane.
It looks to be it, yeah.
So
no Tanaga, Ana, Outworld, Fly Oracle, and Jerax Air Spirit. Still S4 Zero. That's up at the S4. Oh, is that an S4 Shaker?
That's a triple melee lineup too. It's not a bad pick at all. It's another hero that can help the stun lock. So if he gets like a Blink Dagger, and EG are doing that thing that a lot of mass melee lineups like to do, is just group up because they're chasing. You know, they're just trying to get the kills. An Echo can just turn a fight at the drop of a hat. But you can see that OG's posturing is very defensive with their heroes. Like, almost all of them have some kind of mechanism to save. Like, Earth Spirit can obviously stun and silence, Naga Siren can song and ensnare, Oracle's pretty much got the defensive kit on lockdown, Earthshaker Fissure is defensive, you can Astral Imprison people. Like, they have, like, peels upon peels for these heroes on EG, so...
Yeah. I mean,
I'm kind of liking OG a little bit more.
It does look good. I mean, maybe EG have got something Big Ten here. I mean, as we said, for Sumail... Oh, it's a Lone Druid!
Okay. It's a bit of a different approach, but it can... So the biggest problem that EG's lineup has outside of maybe the Beastmaster adding a little bit to the push is their inability to hit towers. So they can't really push with PA, Omni, Beast, and IO, especially against just the sheer amount of like disables that OG are bringing to the table. Because you can only repel one person, and most of the time it's probably just going to be Artor on the PA. So if you get like spammed down and just chain stunned, it can be very annoying trying to get objectives. But with a Lone Druid, it fixes a lot of those problems. He's going to be extremely tanky, and up until, you know, No-Tail gets a couple of items and that OD starts to get more farm, then you're probably not going to be dealing a whole lot of damage, which means that a really beefy frontline hero like Lone Druid can get a lot of work done.
Interesting pick indeed from EG. And overall, I mean, as you said before, that pick, you were liking what OG were doing. Do you still favor just OG's lineup this match?
This one's super close in my opinion. I think the Lone Druid kind of fixes a lot of the issues that EG had. I thought the Storm probably would have been their go-to, but obviously OG banned it. Yeah, I'm actually thinking this is straight up 50-50.
That's exactly what we like to hear as we get ourselves into this series. EG versus OG. Best of 3, of course, up in the winners bracket of Group B. We'll see how it plays out. And, of course, the lanes looking to be RTZ, safe lane PA. Sumail on the mid, Lone Druid. And your offlaner Universe again on that core. Signature Beastmaster. Zai this time actually on the Omni Knight, and Crit will be on his IO. So I believe it was definitely Crit we saw earlier on the Omni, but when you've got an IO in your lineup, you're going to want to let Crit have it. Absolutely excellent standout player on the little blue ball. Over on the side of OG, S4. He's on the Shaker. Been given a little bit of the moment from Arteezy. I mean, they did tell each other they were going to drop him, and they're certainly giving them some now. The Stout Shield drop. Arteezy there, dropping something else other than S4. And the ruffle is called. And elsewhere on the side of OG, Ana, their new boy, the star player that they're looking to bring into their lineup and to foster like they did with Miracle. We'll see how it works out for him on the OD. Jerax, Spirit for him, Fly on the Oracle, and that of course leaves No-Tail on the safe lane. I mean, one thing I'm going to be interested to looking at, Andy, is obviously with Ana, new player, we're not used to seeing him in these kind of 1v1 mids with obviously like Sumail, because he just hasn't been able to show us his performance on LAN against some of these top tier mids. How's this going to go? OD versus Lone Druid.
I don't think that it's really awful for the OD, but I do think that the Lone Druid has a slight advantage, because I mean, you're basically working with two heroes, more or less. And that's going to be a little bit frustrating. As the game goes on, though, OD becomes very strong against Lone Druid, just because of how much damage you can do with Arcane Orb and whatnot. So during the early laning, I would assume that Sumail probably has a slight edge, but honestly, in this matchup, I think it's more down to player skill than anything else.
And what do you think about this as well? This bottom lane, going tri-lane versus tri-lane. Zai and Crit teaming up with Universe to go head-to-head with OG safe lane, leaving RTZ to battle it out 1v1 man-to-man against S4's Earthshaker.
So the Shaker is going to get a lot in regards to experience. He might not farm amazingly, but he should still get, you know, an early level 6, maybe even 7, and some arcanes, which is pretty much all he kind of needs during the very early stage. But I think from EG's perspective, they just want to make sure that No-Tail does not get off to a good start, because their lineup is really bad at dealing with Naga once she has items. They're looking to pressure and looking to take map control with the Beastmaster, get relocate ganks, and just constantly, you know, take objectives with our lone druid, pressure the map as much as we can, push the waves, and kind of force OG into this defensive posture. So the best way to do that is just to prevent OG from ever getting their Naga Siren off the ground, which is what they're trying to do here.
And we can see that OG's prepared for the pressure. You've got what? It started out with 8 tangos on No-Tail. Maybe trying to go for a bit of a go, eyeing towards Zai. As we can see the self-sustain between these two supports is a pretty insane amount. So it's going to be hard to do anything about EG's aggressive free hit. And as you said, the top lane, S4 at the moment, certainly finding a bit of CS. RTZ still on top, but as you mentioned, Earthshaker going to have a pretty nice time. Mid lane, the matchup, Ana OD versus Sumail. LD, 6 for 1 against 10 for 4. So Sumail, as you said, 2 heroes are better than 1, and he does have the edge in this lane at the moment.
Yeah, this is, it's kind of expected, all things considered. The more levels that Ana gets, it'll be easier. But for now, it's just going to be Sumail. The thing you have to be really careful of in this 1v1 too is once Sumail hits 5, obviously the bear is going to have Entangle. And if you get a couple of unlucky Entangles, then you could very easily die. And because this is a situation where the lanes are very unlikely to rotate, unless EG decides that their tri-lane isn't really working out, you're not going to get any outside help. So you need to make sure that you are okay on your own.
And we can see at the moment, really, bottom lane, a bit of a go onto No-Tail. He's got the illusions out, immediately cleared though, on the Axis and the Purification. But as we can see, No-Tail just having to be very careful, and straight up the numbers don't lie across the board. Top 3 at the moment, all the cores of EG. So certainly finding more across the map during this laning stage.
Yeah, this is expected though, just due to the lineup. Their heroes need to be the ones getting more out of the laning phase, because if they don't, and you know, for whatever reason, if this aggro tri-lane lost, No-Tail gets a crap load out of his lane, gets an early Radiance, and then as we already mentioned, it's too hard for them to deal with an early Radiance.
Well, Zai forcing over. He's got the back of a crit. In fact, he's going to go for a bit of a chase down onto Jerax. Jerax taking a lot of heavy damage here. There's a level 1 Purification if Zai can get him range, but a quick hold back from Fly. I mean, Zai can't quite chase down Jerax as they kind of taunt each other. Yeah, a lot
if he had an Orb of Venom there, I think it would have been a kill.
Yeah, just one little bit of a slow and he would have been in range, yeah. As we can see, tension's very high across all of the lanes at the moment. As the mid lane still continues to go the way of Sumail. Jerax just goes for a quick and easy way back to base with the self-deny.
I mean, Sumail's winning mid, I would say, about as hard as you would expect. And yeah, there's one of those roots.
And that could be... He doesn't have an Astral. Sumail is going to die for this. There's a Salve from Ana. Sumail is going all in on this kill. Has to be careful though, because Jerax has turned up and Sumail may have bitten off more than he can chew. He'll bring that back. Oh, the instant root though, and the backup from Crit's going to mean that Sumail could get out. What a lucky little boy. And
he might actually kill Jerax now. He's going to back off. Okay. Decided against it. Yeah, that was a really nice play there from the OD. And plus, I think that, yeah, he didn't have boots on the bear, so if he had boots, maybe it would have been a kill, but unfortunately that's not going to be the case.
But now, as we can see, just with that bit of a play, lots of attention towards the mid lane. Jerax again got low, so ends up having to send himself back to base, the suicidal way. And Zai is looking for a bit of a wraparound here. They want to do something about Ana. In fact, Zai just comes waltzing straight past the tier 1 TP. Is on its way in from Jerax, and now also from No-Tail. They're going to look to try and turn this one around. Jerax for the line. Can he find it? Sumail being forced back. They're going to take it. Ana, one more touchdown onto Lone Druid. Will find the kill. Jerax oversteps the mark. They misses crit, but the rest of the side of OG are able to find Zai as well in the mid lane. OG reacting to EG's pressure in the mid lane and coming out on top with 2 clean kills.
Really nice rotations coming in from the side of OG. And that's what I was talking about, is they have so many ways of saving heroes. Like, diving is just not going to work. There is no way that you can dive against, like, the The Fortune's End, that's pretty much a root, a fissure. No-Tail doesn't have Ensnare yet, but he will eventually. Astral Imprisonment, Boulder Smash. Like, there are just so many ways to stop you from doing what you want.
Whilst this all went down, though, Universe continues to get more space down bottom. RTZ. I mean, he's obviously had the presence of S4, but it's not done a lot in terms of slowing him down. He's getting good levels.
Wait, does Sumail doesn't have a bear? When did he lose his second bear?
He did have it very low off that lot. He must have, yeah, thrown his life away in that fight.
Oh,
so, he has got the resummon in a second. In fact, top lane. Okay, RTZ jumps in. Quick purification from Zai. And they'll beat down upon him. But Jerax and Ana are going to look to try and turn this. They'll get the stun onto Zai. No points in repel at the moment. So Zai, he's only got a purification and the ability to run. The slow helping him out a little bit. The Astral's there to set up. There's no TPs at the moment coming out from EG. So it looks like they'll just have to let him go. The Astral damage burst was more than enough. And OG find themselves another kill on this top lane. They did lose S4's life for it, though.
It's really good for OG that they managed to pull the lanes apart, because if you look at the CS, it's still reflecting how badly EG were winning all 3 lanes. So the fact that, you know, they started playing hyper-aggressive and EG said, let's go for kills, it broke down the laning stage in such a way that they were able to get a lot in Power Tour.
Yeah, Jerax, perfect placement, jumps in, backup is on its way. Can Zai keep RTZ alive? He can with a purification, and RTZ wants to fight, jumps in onto Jerax, but the nuke, the purified flames from Fly, takes down Artur. Jerax still healing up, he's going to look for the Dukes, he needs the Duke of his life, but he's going to roll, oh, but the kick to the backside from Universe brings down the Rocky Man. So it will be a 1-for-1, but EG losing RTZ on the PA there.
That was really strange, because he like attacked a creep for a second. Like he swung at it twice, he crit, and then he blinked in to go after Jerax. Whereas if he just got the Phantom Strike off right away, that hit would have been a crit, and they would have gotten a kill. Maybe he doesn't have to commit as hard, or maybe he doesn't die. I'm not really sure, but either way, it's, you know, it's 7.5 minutes in, and this Oracle's about to be level 6. That's,
oh boy.
That's pretty crazy to be that high level this early on as an Oracle, so... All things considered, OG is still getting everything they want out of the early game. No-Tail's almost completely recovered from the aggressive tri-lane that EG put down here. He's got his Arcanes, you know, he's got the infused raindrops for more mana regen, and he's got his song as soon as he decides that he wants to skill it. But I think EG are pressuring themselves a lot, like mentally, just saying, you know, we need to go for stuff, because we can't just let the Naga farm. But in that, they've already given away a lot of kills.
And this could be nice as well. Flight as an Invis rune. And at the moment, just keeping eyes on crit. Sumail has backed away from the lane, just clearing up some camps. They've got S4 coming across as well, and Echo Slam is at the ready. So Fly can allow a chance for S4 to get himself nice and deep. He can certainly go for a bit of a play, and S4, he wants to do it. He wants to do it down bottom with a reveal of the ult. Universe is the target, but Universe already backing up. They're going to have Jerax and S4 hiding in the jungle. But they won't find the opportunity to jump in bottom. They're turning towards mid. Crit's been spotted out by the ward. Fly closing the gap with the Invis rune. Getting the vision for the team. Just staying outside of the tower range. Now he'll go in as Ana moving in deep. But Crit gets himself up to the high ground. He's got the backup of Universe. The rest of OG thinking about doing something. But it's all but a little bit too deep for them. And EG just avoiding OG's movements very nicely. And essentially just wasting the time of S4.
Yeah, I mean, the ES walking around and not getting much, that is a little bit of a bummer. But... he is already 6, and he's got a Soul Ring up, so it's not like... we didn't expect him to really win his lane against PA. That lane is really not winnable after some point, because Dagger is just too much spam. He didn't even buy a stick, which I found kind of weird, but in the grand scheme of things, his job is pretty much to get a blink at, you know, before 20 minutes if he can, and then get some nicely placed echoes. That's really all they need from him, so... OG is still looking to be in a pretty okay spot. The one thing that we need to talk about is the timing of a hero like Phantom Assassin and when she becomes super strong. Now, she has an Omni Knight on her team, which means she doesn't have to itemize for the BKB. She can just go straight greed, you know, go for the Deso Vlads or Deso into Basher, whatever build he decides he wants to go for. And he's going to hit that peak a lot faster. So I think that's part of the reason why they want to pick the heroes in conjunction, so they can just go for those early fights and just abuse the fact that Purification, being able to land that damage so consistently and having the repel is going to enable that hero to do so much work. But I kind of feel like they should be doing something soonish. Maybe they want Zai to hit 6, but I don't think that sitting and playing the farming game is going to do them any favors against OG.
And top lane, OG, they are the ones that seem to be a little bit more proactive during this early stages, as they do have eyes on Arteezy. 3 of them at the moment, top Jerax, Fly, and S4 in the neighborhood. Still with the Echo Slam at the ready. They need a Fissure or something to set it up to allow Jerax to roll in. S4 Moving forward, but RTZ keeps himself back this time. EG
Yeah, he had the lane ward,
themselves.
so.
Yeah, and EG, they came into the jungle, maybe seeing if they can find No-Tail, because No-Tail's just been clearing camps, and as we said earlier, the Naga Siren is going to be an issue. If they can't do anything about it. Crit says he's going to find No-Tail here, but top lane, that's where the action's happening. RTZ getting incredibly low, and again, the Purifying Flames from Fly just nuke him down. S4 tanks a Purification, but Fly just finding these kills on RTZ. You know, at this stage, if the backup's not there in time, you know, if Zai doesn't get repelled down, the nuke damage is too much for a PA to stand up to.
Yeah, I mean, Zai didn't get the heal off, I guess. So, I mean, that is pretty much enough for Artor to pretty much just fall flat on his face. The hero does not have good strength gain, or good base strength at all, so she's super squishy to magical burst. That's the whole point of like picking the Omni, is to fix that problem, but unfortunately Zai just wasn't in the right position at the right time. And he knew they were there too, because they all walked past that lane ward. So that death is very unnecessary.
Oh. They get a fish off, they don't quite have the tools to go back in and look for a second one, especially with Zai around. And I mean, as you said, you know, this is hurting RTZ a lot. And we can see on the net worth, he's slightly falling behind. It's still very, very close amongst these cores from both sides. Samael now has that Midas complete on the bear.
That's his second Midas.
Oh, has he gone the double Midas?
Yeah, he's got 2 Midases.
Alrighty. The double Midas strat. Something... I was watching the old Donga's stream the other day, and he did say himself, double Midas is not good. So we'll see if Samael can make it good. But Bulldog himself was not a believer in the double Midas. We'll see how it works out this game.
I think the main reason why he considers it not good is because you're not really looking to get a ton of levels on Lone Druid. You're just looking to get a really fast Radiance and then fight with your Radiance. As Crit in the bottom lane, probably going to be dropping here.
And top lane, they were looking for RTZ, but we'll watch this bottom lane because Crit is going to be taken down. There was a bit of a turnaround here as they took down the Shaker, and oh, a bit of T-Tools all around as action's happening both bottom and top. Now the sleep from No-Tail, looking to disengage as Universe came across, tried to find something with the Roar, but No-Tail and Jerax are going to be able to get themselves out alive. Top lane, it did end up being 2 down, and maybe even more. Anna, popping the drums, trying to close into RTZ. So, lots of action going up top and bottom of the map. They lose S4 Shaker, but they do find 2 kills for it, OG.
Yeah, favorable trade. I don't know, I'm a little bit concerned for EG because, you know, normally... He's fine. Oh, maybe not.
He is not fine.
Okay, never mind. The Arcane Orb followed him after.
Perfect timing from S4 with that Fisher. He only just came in. Zai is going to repel RTZ, trying to let him go in and go in ham. S4 falling low. The drums will be popped by Anna. RTZ is going to continue to jump across. They move back. RTZ now caught out by the nukes. The ult drop by Anna. He takes down another. Zai has got the backup of Universe. But again, it's a nicely coordinated fight from OG. Samuel will use the bear, Savage Roar to try and push OG back. And it looks like it will stop them from finding anything more from this fight. But yeah, at this point, OG just playing that little bit smoother as a team.
I don't know, I feel like they kind of need Universe and Arteezy to be in the same spot if they want to try to go for kills. Because you need some other form of lockdown besides Stifling Dagger. I mean, granted, there's a lot of ways to peel for that, but it really feels like just having the repel on the PA, if it's only a level 2 repel, it's 8 seconds. It's decent, but it hasn't been enough.
And look at this as well. OG coming up top. Arteezy.
They're expecting him to TP to save
and he doesn't. So good news for Artor. He heads towards mid instead. Gets the deny. A nice wraparound potentially from AEG. They've got Universe leading the way. Has the Roar available. They want to try and make something happen mid. If they can catch Anna out with a Roar, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. OG still under the cover of the smoke, are coming back towards the mid lane. So again, we could see another pretty heavy clash in this mid lane by the tier 1 of OG. We'll see how EG want to move in. The illusion's already coming through. Dagger as well. Let's see what OG's response into the Roar. Coming out with the save from Fly is there. S4 drops out the ult. Jerax's ult comes through. The Fisher from S4 is what holds EG back. And EG, they can't get the kill. Anna's healed back up to full by Fly's play on the Oracle. And EG are left still hanging around, still looking for an opening. They try for a courier, not quite got the damage to deal with it. Looking for Jerax. Arteezy. Is he going to jump in on this one? Maybe they can find a route, but it's not going to be the case. And we're just seeing here how well S4 as well. Pretty much Crit, Fly, and sorry, not Crit anymore, lol. Jerax, Fly, and S4 are playing as the supports to just keep their cores alive.
Well, I mean, a lot of this is just attributed to the draft as well. Like, OG knew what EG wanted to do with their heroes. They just want to freaking run at you with Repel and PA. But if you can't do that because there's so many defensive mechanisms on the side of OG, it just becomes ineffective.
Jax done onto 2. New onto Samel. S4. He's coming across. He's got an echo, but already the call out is there. Crit will get the save onto Samel. Go for a little bit of a chase down onto the bear. I don't know if Crit can play his way out of this. He hasn't really got anything to tether across to, so Crit should be a freebie here for the side of OG as he comes back in and OG punish him hard. So again, 10 for free. The kill's certainly going the way of OG.
What needs to happen is, okay, so the book 2 is done on Beastmaster. That's going to help a lot. But Artur pretty much needs his Desolator before they can actually take the fight, because he needs enough damage to be able to burst a hero down. If he doesn't have that amount of DPS to be able to just go in and blow somebody up with a coup de grace, then they're not gonna get a kill. Like, Fissure is gonna stop the rest of the back line. He'll be the only one who can really sit in the fight, because he's gonna Phantom Strike forward, and then the rest of his team is gonna get Fissured. And then whoever he's going on is gonna get either imprisoned or false promised or whatever. And then he's gonna be sitting there going, wait, what do I do? That's pretty much been the story every time he goes in. So it's very difficult if OG are playing together for him to make anything happen, even with the use of the repel. Because he's simply the only person who can close the gap.
At the moment, Universe just putting the pressure on the side lanes. We've seen him kind of come across a few times trying to look to fight, but he's very much been playing his own game at the moment. Just looking to get those levels up on the Necro book, putting the pressure on the lanes, trying to, you know, maybe shut down the area that No-Tail feels safe in farming in. But as we can see, No-Tail's looking very, very good for himself. 17 minutes in, just a couple of 100 gold away from having the completed Radiance. And of course, out of timing, which is going to be a little bit quicker than Samel. He's got 3k towards the Relic, so it's certainly going to be out first for No-Tail. But then there will be a point where there's Radiance, double Midas against one Radiance. Well, top lane, Anna getting jumped on. He can't live through that. Anna came out very far on his own, maybe relying a little bit too much on expecting to get out of there with that Invis rune. But they had the damage, EG, and a free OD kill. I mean, that's pretty huge for them.
Yeah, and they're going to even go for the reload here. They want fly.
And they should be able to get it. The crits from Artur.
And that's why we want Desolator.
Insane amounts of DPS.
Yeah, I mean, Oracle has pretty awful base armor. He's only got 4. Yeah, the Radiance is not done on No-Tail. They're going to lose Roshan, though, which does give EG a bit of an opening.
It looks like they want to fight it. I mean, No-Tail's TPing over. He has got Song available. They've got an Echo Slam. They could go for some kind of big play here. Jarrett's already playing around the pit. He's got Magnetized. They
need
could
to wait
try.
For the Shaker's Blink, though. The Blink Dagger is not going to get there fast enough. It's on the Courier. I think they're just going to let it go.
Yeah, not quite enough coming into place for OG in time. So EG, finding an OD kill top, finding Fly as well in the jungle, getting that Aegis onto RTZ. A huge, huge bit of momentum for them coming off the back of that. As we can see the difference, it's been up and down, but now it's starting to go back the way of EG's ballpark. And RTZ in a better position. Samel continues to farm. I imagine, has he got the Radiance done? Oh, is the Relic done? Okay. Relic and halfway through the recipe of the Radiance. So only pretty much a minute after No-Tail's own Radiance. And then it's the Radiance double Midas. So LD is going to have money coming out his arse and the Bears as well. There's going to be gold everywhere for Smack.
Yeah, this is, it looks like it's going to pay off. And I think it's mainly just because of the Naga and Cherax.
Getting caught out here, and S4 comes in with the slam. Crit falling low. They will find the IO kill, but it ends up feeding a second to RTZ. That is, the mistakes, as we said, at the start of the series. Teams coming together on lands, and that is a painful one. And EG very nicely punishing it. They lose an IO, but getting RTZ involved in these kills. On top of the phased SO, he's now got 2.5k gold. He's starting to get scarier and scarier. We can see OG coming across. They want to try and do something here. RTZ jumps in, has been repelled up. He's going to go for the TP out. They don't have the damage or a way to hold him back. They'll take the kill onto the Omni Knight. You had No-Tail coming in with the Song, trying to do something about RTZ's escape, but it wasn't there in time. So they lose Omni, but RTZ gets out. He gets away with it all scot-free.
I would say it's probably fine for EG at the end of the day, because somebody's still farming.
And look at this.
I think he's got his Radiance on.
We're on to Anna. RTZ comes in. He's going to look for involvement on another kill. There'll be an Astral to buy some time for the OD. A Fisher coming out. They'll actually get the kill onto Crit. Anna turns around. He pops the Aegis. Anna's going to be able to walk this one off and actually lives through it all. Jerax was able to play with Universe on the back lines of this. RTZ still hanging around, comes back in, but No Tail pops the illusions out. They play around it. Anna puts No Tail in the Astral. They punish RTZ's hunger, and they're not quite done. Samael walking around on negative HP. He's gone as well. Easiest triple kill of Anna's life. As EG just throwing heroes at the OD, and Anna just eats them up.
Man, that was so close. That was a very well calculated Sanity's Eclipse there from Anna. If he didn't drop that, he probably just dies. You know, the whole team fight doesn't really go nearly as well for them. Sumail was so low, and after Artur died, they were able to just flank him, and there was not really much he could do about it. So, another really nice little shift in momentum there, favoring the side of OG. I guess the 3 cores of EG, though, are still quite farmed. Like, Universe, Arteezy, and Sumail all have still quite a bit of gold. And now with the Blink Dagger being picked up on Universe as well, we're going to start to see the impact of being able to get those solo pickoffs that we were talking about.
And Universe is going to try for Anna, but Anna, he's got the backup of S4. S4 does have an Echo Slam, and Anna just turns around and punches into Universe. RTZ jumps in, but the Echo from S4 comes out. It's not going to be enough damage, though. Sides there with a Purification onto Universe. RTZ repelled up, looking towards S4. He's held back by the net, though. Wants to be careful how he commits this time. RTZ may have learned his lesson, and he's not going to go and try and jump in for the kill. Crit only just getting himself alive, but EG keep everyone alive here, but they aren't able to find that kill with that initiation, as pretty much both teams just there, ready to return fire.
I feel that was a bit awkward, though, from Arteezy. He had Repel, and there was no Sanity's Eclipse. You know, Net was still on cooldown. The Echo had been used on the solo Beastmaster.
Maybe, I don't know, whether they were coming in with a song. Maybe he was scared of No Tail turning it around.
I mean, I guess. He just didn't want to overcommit, right? Yeah. Like, he felt...
Sumail?
Alright, Sumail?
Well, he's not unlikely to get himself out of this one.
That was straight up miscommunication. I think that Sumail was feeling like they should be fighting, and the rest of the team just simply was not on the same page. That was very, very awkward to get picked off like that. And that's the hero that has 2 Midases that you definitely don't want dying for no reason at all. Especially considering the fact that, you know, No Tail's finished up the bots since the Radiance has been done, and he's already got, you know, almost 1,000 gold on top of that. And Crit's even going to be dropping here as well.
Jerax playing with IO and OG, putting the pressure onto the bottom lane with a man down, 2 men down, of course, at the moment on EG. Hard for them to do anything to stop it. They'll pick up a jam on Zai. Blink Dagger now, though, on Fly, and we've seen him already with some pretty godly saves. So we can expect more big plays coming out from the Oracle. And 18-7, the net worth graph in favor of OG. Only by 3k, though, and certainly EG have got the potential to turn this around and regain control, but at the moment, OG just coming off the back of a few cleaner plays.
I really think that EG just tried to go a little bit too soon in this game. So like during the laning phase, they were winning all 3 of their lanes, and then they start to do these really wonky dives, and they just get punished for it because of the defensive nature of OG's lineup. And eventually, it just got to a point where all these small skirmish-style fights that normally would favor a team with a PA and an Omni, OG are just playing like better in general in the fights. So a little bit of a lineup problem, I would guess, from EG, and maybe just not playing it as slow as they should have, and then just wait for like the 1 core item on Artur and then go, because he's died 4 times. Normally in games like this where the enemy team pretty much only does magical damage, you would assume having an Omni Knight you would pretty much never die, but I'm not really sure. Could be just the new team jitters, I guess.
And do you feel this is just absolutely necessary for RTZ to get that BKB? Just not solely relying on Zai to be there with the repels?
Yeah, it'll be nice to be able to put it on, you know, Sumail or Universe or whatever during the fights. It just enables you to have 2 magic immune heroes instead of 1, which is obviously going to be a good thing. Or, you know, you could just repel him, and then he BKBs after the repel, that way there's no downtime, and you get, what, like 22, 24 seconds of magic immunity? It's pretty insane.
And I guess at the moment, yeah, pretty much against OG's lineup, magic immunity, it's
amazing.
It's a lot. It's a great game.
That's why I was so like confused as to why, you know, Artur was dying so much, especially considering like Zai was actually top a lot of the time.
Zai! He has ordered himself back in a way. Did he heal himself enough? Does a lot of damage. There's a big ball of fire on him. That final heal, it's not going to be enough. As the crits were too much from RTZ, taking down Fly, and it's coming. Oh! Alright. Easy kills for Anna. Simply pops the hole onto 2 and bottom lane, Sumail. He could be in trouble. OG's chasing him down. Oh, no, couldn't quite get the net off there, but the force forwards, he's going to find it. They're closing in onto Samael. Fish is there. They surround the big old bear. He continues to try and run and hide. The armor's not enough. And Anna makes himself present for another kill. Oh, my goodness. OG hitting very hard up and down the map. And somehow, Anna's finding himself in all the right places. He's 13, 1 and 2 on the OD. He's hitting 15k. He's 4k, more like 3k ahead of Samael's Lone Druid that's got Radiance and Double Midas in net wealth. And it's just been doing so much on this OD.
He's almost at 75% kill contribution. Yeah. Like, he's been everywhere. Like you were saying, during these fights, he wants to be there. And Jerax actually going to be getting picked off here. Yeah.
I mean, this is obviously something that OG have to be careful of. You know, EG with the vision game, you can't, once that relocate and Brawl's online, solo supports are always going to get picked off on that. But again, it's always slightly risky for EG to go for those plays, because as we've seen, sometimes OG, they've been kind of setting around with a little bit of a bait, and there's been the saves, the backup to turn them around. But EG just finding everything they can to keep themselves in the game at the moment. Arteezy farming up the Ancients, working on his next item on top of the BKB. I mean, what does Arteezy get next? Does he go straight for a Basher or anything else on the Pia?
Yeah, I would assume the Abyssal Blade. Yeah. They need additional lockdown, I think, is the biggest issue. I mean, you could also look at things like MKB if you want to really deal with the Naga later on, but, No Tail's item progression isn't so fast that you need to worry about Butterfly anytime soon. So yeah, I'm guessing Basher into Abyssal is most likely going to be the choice. The thing that's really, puzzling about this game for me is EG have a Beastmaster, and yet they're getting picked off so much and taking these engagements that just don't work. Normally, when you have that hero on your team, you're the ones who are getting the picks and taking the proper fights because you just normally have vision. It just seems like they're not playing around the Beastmaster properly, or
and this
not quite sure.
S4 leading the way. Universe is there. He's going to blink out just in time. G can actually find anything here. S4 shoved forward, has the fish up. Arteezy's been repelled. OG can't quite find the catch. Notail's going to look for the walk along song, see if he can catch any of the stragglers. Already heading out into the very corner of the map. Universe is fine. Crits off to the side as well, so they are able to avoid it. And EG very nicely just dodging OG's attempt to find some kind of catch.
Yeah, it was a good build. I don't think that you want to fight right now if you're EG. Even, considering the fact that they have a really good lineup at taking fights. By the way, Arthur picked up a Claymore, so he's either going for a very late Battle Fury, or he's buying a Shadow Blade, and I'm guessing it's going to be a Battle Fury.
I mean, a Cleave, I guess, against the Illusions. It's but as you said, it's a weird build progression, and timing is not going to be there.
I guess the mentality is, if you're not going to be taking the fights, you might as well get an item that's going to help you farm. I mean, Battle Fury still gives PA a pretty significant chunk of damage, and if you get lucky with crits, you're still going to be able to get kills. Like you mentioned, the wave clear is going to start to become more and more of a problem, because Sumail is really the only one, besides, I guess Universe, who clears waves that fast. PA is awful at clearing waves. Very slow. All single target damage. So getting the Battle Fury will help a lot with that. But it's also kind of conceding the fact that you're just not playing the game the way you want to play it, just by building that item.
Jerax going in there, playing with Zai, and getting himself out, just toying with EG in the bottom lane. Now, OG, you want to fight here. You've got no tail. No song for 30 seconds though. So yeah, let's a group up, stick together. Think about going in for this. S4 still has the slam. EG are out of that. Just keeping to themselves, making sure that none of them get caught out at this stage. And Roshan is up, so we'll see if any team finds the chance to go in for that. Nice scan from EG. He's going to spot out OG coming across. Anna heading into the pit. Do they actually want to try and work? I mean, can OG go for this, or do they need to find a pick-off before they do Rosh?
I mean, they have Song. They can pretty much do whatever.
Oh, Jerax jumps in onto two. The silence, the stun. S4 with the slam. Onto Samael. He's going to go down. Zai, can he actually play his way out? He's got the repel, but it's not going to save him against the punches. Jerax comes through again. Anna is godlike. Jerax with the absolutely fantastic setup to allow the rest of the team to come through. And with 2 down, they say screw Roche, we'll take a tier 2 first. Now they may head back into the pit. But Jerax's Earth Spirit, it never gets old, Andy.
I mean, I honestly thought this was going to be a hard Earth Spirit game, but between the Earth Spirit, the Shaker, all the defensive mechanisms they had for the rest of the team, It's too much for EG. They just can't ever stick on a target long enough to kill it.
Nothing EG can do to stop this. Roshan's go down. Aegis probably to go into the pockets of Anna, who sits there very, very proudly. 3.2k gold in the bank. Him and Notel at the very top. Notel's been able to keep up the farm very nicely this game. Been keeping up with the star that Anna has been. A 1-0-12 performance on Notel, played it very safely. Consistently find the areas on the map to farm. And Universe, well, he can't blink. The Radiance burn from that illusion, allowing Jerax to close in. The fish is there from S4. Universe is down and out. And 24-9. OG regaining kind of what they had earlier. There was a bit of the earlier stages of the mid game where EG managed to show a little bit of their colors, but OG at this point very quick to slam them right back down, and this is looking to become a very hard game for EG.
I mean, honestly, you know, this game has mostly been the Fly and Anna show, but you also have to give credit to Notail for being able to keep the lane pressure up, and S4 for getting a couple of nice echoes that just kind of put the nail in the coffin, I guess, for EG here, because they are suffering from a classic case at the Naga Siren, which is we can't ever push because two of our lanes are being pushed simultaneously by one hero. So now, even if they can win a fight, it's going to be much harder for them to find the engagement they're looking for, even with the help of the Beastmaster Hawk. It's either going to be a very slow and painful death here for EG, or they're going to go for a smoke and just try to make something happen because they just understand that this game is not going to be won by farming. There is, like, very, very little chance, unless for some reason Arteezy gets like a rampage with his Battle Fury and magically gets like 2 more items.
Still, well, just a couple hundred gold away from Battle Fury, and Arteezy will have that. But, you know, as much as it has its merits in a game where you're being pushed back like this, as we said with the wave clear and such, it's not that massive item that's going to help you turn around these team fights necessarily. So OG I may even be able to do something about this. He's walking past wards. They know that Arteezy's here. He's going to go for the TP out. There's nothing quite in range to stop him. No, there's no kind of Jerax or S4 round quite close enough to do it. So he's out. Battle Fury's picked up. Same time though, Anna has the completed Shiva's Guard done on OD. So OG, I mean at this point, with the ults online, they're very much in a position to just push down a lane and try and break high ground surely with the Aegis still on Anna.
Yeah, absolutely. They can easily high ground here. All it's going to take is one well-placed Echo or one pickoff, and they're pretty much going to get a set of racks, or, you know, force buybacks out of EG, which, given their current economical state, they really can't afford.
EG needs something big and spectacular on the defensive. They really do.
I mean, just look at the map. You look in, you know, every single lane, there's a freaking Naga Siren illusion, no matter where you look. It's just not, it's not great, man. It's really not. I think the way that OG dealt with this kind of aggression and how they studied the replays of watching EG play against Vici earlier has paid off so well for them.
Arteezy.
He has BKB.
Okay. He does have crit around with a relocate.
Well. Yeah.
S4. How does he play this one? The relocate is revving up. Yeah, crit's got the save. Takes Artur out. So Arteezy, he won't have to pay for his sins, but crit almost certainly will.
Yeah.
As OG surround him.
Going for the TP?
Fly and No-Tail. I mean the repel. That will keep him alive for some bit, but Fly and No-Tail take down their ex-member, and crit is gone for good.
I think you actually need to ban Oracle if you're going to play Omni Knight, because Fortune's End just removes everything anyway. It's really annoying. It's kind of like playing against Shadow Beam in a Omni Knight, but worse because it's not an ultimate level spell and it's on a 6-second cooldown. Very, very frustrating to play against that hero as Omni.
Arteezy with the battle strength looks to be indeed the basher now after the Battle Fury, but he's still got quite a way to go before he has it. They need more time, and the question is, are OG likely to give it to them? And the answer most definitely is no. As OG smoked up, ready to look for a pick. Swooping across the jungle, they're going to spawn Arteezy out in the lane. He has got the backup of Zai, but I fear that's not going to be enough to keep this PA alive if OG coming in full force. Scan is there from OG, just seeing if any of EG are hanging around in that camp. TP back's going to be there. Zai trying to get out, but S4 with the Fisher. RTZ jumps in and is able to take down Fly in the back lines, but Zai, he's going to go down. RTZ, can he get his way out of this one? He jumps across to No-Tail. He's looking for the Jukes, but S4 there with the Enchant Totem. They've got the control. RTZ pops the BKB. He's still on the retreat. He's going to go for the TP out. Can he make it? No! S4 with the totem to the backside. S4.
Where's my evasion?
Oh man.
Zero,
he said he'll
zero
drop him.
attacks evaded.
That was certainly dropping him. Crit? No. Not gonna happen.
Yeah. Okay,
This
they're gonna
might
get
happen.
Charax.
Alright. EG get themselves a kill. Which just feel like the first time in quite a while.
A very long time, yeah.
And Song for No-Tail looking towards Universe. They found Samael here on the back. And, well, not a lot to be said there.
I don't really think they can kill this OD, Owen. I'm kind of struggling to find a way that hero dies.
Ridiculously far ahead. I mean, No-Tail as well. No-Tail is getting very far ahead. And EG, let's see if they got any final answers here as OG up to the high ground. Samael will buy back. And I guess, yeah, he does have the berry summon, so he's got it out. Anna! Alright, he goes in. He takes down Zion, he goes back out. Alright. Alright. What can they do here? Linkers is popped. Plus the Shiva's guard. RTZ jumping in. Root's there, but the song again from No-Tail, allowing OG to reset the fight. That issue, there was a bit of a whiff there. But, I mean, OG, they can happily wait that 1.5 minutes until that Echo Slam's back.
Yeah, that was just a bit unfortunate. They both had the same idea. They're like, we need to defend the OD, and then at the same time, Song came out, he just tried to Echo. So maybe a bit of miscommunication, but it really doesn't matter. Like, how the heck are they ever going to kill the cores on the side of OG? Like, Anna's going to have a Hex and, what, a couple hundred gold? On top of the Shivas that it feels like he just bought. I mean, Crit's level 11. That is a sad state of affairs for the little IO player.
Oh, it's easy. I don't know what he's doing this far out. I think he wants to try and join OG. He got no one.
Either.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice. He is dead.
Oh, it's easy. Your request to join has been denied.
That was just a nice call there from No-Tail because he realized that there was no TP scroll, so if he gets the song off, it's almost guaranteed that he's going to die. Because even if he BKBs, you can just ensnare him.
Now with RTZ off for 60 seconds, I mean at the least OG should have a good chance of maybe forcing out the buyback. I mean S4, 3.1k gold, he's pretty much got enough for the E-Blade if that is indeed the plan, to finish off on top of the Ghost Scepter next. Somehow back to base as EG try and get everything together to hold. I mean, on the plus side for EG, they haven't lost a Rax yet, but that could be about to change very shortly. Anna's got a Sheep Stick. Samael does have an Assault Cuirass for the defense, but it really is going to need to be quite some defense if OG come in heavy. And S4, Echo Slam back and available. 20 seconds until RTZ's back, so maybe they can hold on long enough. But okay, jumping in. The Savage Roar's there to force them back, but Anna just punches into crit. The IO's down. Bishop onto Zai. Anna coming back in again. Jax with the Boulder Smash, controlling the OD, allowing Anna to punch into him. And they're not done yet. Jax moving in for more. Looks for Universe, who forces away Samael, and Universe caught out by the stun. Anna comes across. Universe is out. Samael as well. And GG is called. My goodness. Effectively just a beat down from OG as the game progressed, as EG really couldn't regain their footing. The draft wasn't quite enough to hold up to the strengths that OG were getting to in the mid game. And game two, they've just got to change up the draft, and I just feel they can't play like this against OG, or at least, you know, just don't let them have these supports.
I think it's a combination of both. I think that their draft was actually not terrible, but I do think the way that they played the early game felt a little bit rushed. So they were like tower diving mid, they were taking these small skirmishes all over the place, and they were getting punished really hard by OG because their heroes just they offer more control and kill potential, especially Fly's Oracle during that early game. Like, he had a phenomenal start. He was pretty much there for every single kill. You know, they killed the PA 2 or 3 times in lane. It just seemed like all the rotations that their supports made actually worked, whereas EG's rotations couldn't really accomplish that much. They go this aggro tri-lane with an IO, an Omni Knight, and a Beastmaster because they realize that their heroes probably can't pressure the map that much until they get a couple of levels, so they just want to keep the Naga down. It's a good plan. They were winning all 3 of their lanes, and then they started moving around the map, and they started losing the game really, really hard. And I think that's really where the biggest issue kind of came into effect. Because if they had just kept the lanes together for a bit longer, maybe kill the tier 1, you know, rotate Sumail down there with the Lone Druid Bear and kill the tower, and just play more as a team, I feel like they could have actually won that game. But as soon as they start splitting up, like, OG's team was just so much better and fighting those small battles, so a bit unfortunate for EG, but we'll see what they bring here in game 2.
Absolutely. Of course, we've seen already in this LAN that EG have been able to pull back series after coming off a game 1 loss, but this was certainly quite some loss. They're going to need to switch some things up, come back with something different against OG, and we'll see if they're able to do that in game 2. Ladies and gentlemen, right around the corner, so don't go anywhere. We should have it very shortly. It seems the games are running very quick, very smoothly today here. I don't want to jinx it, though, on the MDL LAN. So game 2 between EG and OG coming right around the corner, and as it stands, OG with the 1-0 lead. We'll see you in a bit.
Sound muted. Microphone muted.